everybody. Thank you so much for joining our cast panel today for our Save Daredevil Con. It's really cool and all this craziness in the world that we are able to have this opportunity to do a lot of virtual, really cool things. So thank you all for taking time out of your day and joining us. Before we start, can I have everybody go around and introduce yourselves and what character you played on the show? Amy, you start.
Hi, I'm Amy Rutberg, and I played Marci Stahl, and I miss her very much.
Hi, I'm Royce Johnson. I played Detective Brett Mahoney.
I'm Susan Varon. I played Josie and own Josie's Bar.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll go next. I'm Geoffrey Cantor. I play Ellison, and I miss him too, and everybody else.
Hi, I'm Sunita Deshpande. I played Seema Nadeem, former wife of Ray Nadeem.
Hi, everyone. I'm Peter Shinkoda, and I play the evil Nobu of the Hand.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, first question. I'd like you guys to go around and just tell me a little bit like how you landed your respective roles on the show. Amy can start.
So I auditioned for Daredevil. I didn't know what it was, and it was just a straight up audition. Like I didn't know anybody. I went to the casting director's office, and I didn't know that the project had a fake name, and it was right after I had a baby, so I don't think I was paying very much attention. And then I got a call a couple weeks later that said, "Hey, they're very interested in you for this part." And I was like, "What? I don't even remember. What was the audition?" And they said, "Well, it was called this, but it's actually for Daredevil, the first Marvel Netflix show." And yeah, say I was excited was an understatement.
Awesome.
I'm going to piggyback off that. Mine was the exact same way. I went into the casting office, had to sign an NDA, and had some sides on me, which is my pages to read. Auditioned in a small room, had no idea what I was auditioning for. And then maybe a week or two later, my agent called and was like, "You just booked a Marvel television show." I was like, "When did I book
Yeah,
I
same
don't
thing. I
remember
was like,
going in for a Marvel TV show. And he told me it was Daredevil, and the rest is history. We went on to do more and more things.
yeah, thank you, Stephen Knight, because he was the first shirt. Stephen Knight and Jeff Loeb.
Stephen Knight's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
I too went in for an audition with the wonderful Julie Schubert.
Julie, yes.
Casting director. Thank you, Julie. And my character's name started with a J, but it wasn't Josie. It was like Jamie, or I didn't know. And I had to sign the same thing. I didn't know what I was auditioning for, and I agreed to audition for it anyway. And then when I got cast, I was told I was cast in a Marvel show, and it was Daredevil, but I was never told the name of my character. And the first time I found out who I was playing was when I was being fitted for my first costume. And the costume designer, and I think it was the day before I started to shoot, said, "You do know who you're playing?" And I said, "No, I don't." Said, "Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you, but I'm going to tell you." And then I went home that night and did everything I could to, look and see, but it was pretty wild. Yeah.
Wow.
It's me, right? So the same, except the only difference was I had just broken my shoulder. So yeah, so I remember very clearly. I'd had knee surgery 2 weeks after that. I slipped and dislocated my shoulder, broke it in 2 places, and tore the labrum. So I remember, Peter, when you had your thing, I was like, I know exactly what you're going through. And I went in. It happened on a Thursday. Friday, I was told I had the audition, and also had my X-ray telling me I needed surgery. My audition was Monday, pre-surgery, and I went in with a makeshift sling that was actually like a hippie scarf of one of my kids, and my audition. I remember the scene because it's the first scene. So it's episode 3, my first scene with Urich. And I remember because I couldn't move my arm, so I held a folder in my left arm so that I wouldn't move it, and did the whole thing with that. And it was exactly the same scene as the first scene. It was the whole scene, did it twice, and then I got my sling back on. I said, "Could you tell?" She said, "No." And I think I found out within a week. I found out really, really quickly. But they said, it's a part, he doesn't exist in Daredevil. So I didn't put any of those pieces together because Ellison doesn't exist. So, and also I didn't know, I thought it was like one scene. I didn't realize what the part was going to become. I mean, I basically thought, it may be recurring. And that was the extent of the information I was given. And then I was on Percocet for the rest of the time. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll go. I had given up on all hopes of being a working actor. I was like, this is not going to happen for me. And I had $0 in my bank account. And I was like, this is going to be my last audition I go in for. And I had gone in for a day player audition with Julie, the wonderful, great Julie Schubert. And I remember I was just like, I was working at the time, and I was like, I'd gotten a new job and I just needed to pay the bills. And I told my boss at work, I was like, you know what, I promise this is my last day from heck. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to do it. And then I'll come back and I'm all yours after this. And Julie was so happy about my audition, which was amazing. She was just like, she was like, that was so good. It was a scene where someone was describing, and actually ended up being in this show to Karen about Daredevil coming out of the blue and rescuing her and her father. And I'm very close with my father in real life. So that scene was like, I didn't feel I had to act. It was like just me talking about my dad because we're close. And Julie was like, do you speak any Hindi? Because I think there's another role for you that's a recurring. I don't know why you haven't been sent in for it, but I think you would be perfect. It's to be the wife of this Indian FBI agent. And she was like, do you speak Hindi? And I was like, no. Which apparently Jay Ali yelled at me later. He was like, you always lie. And I'm like,
always
but I don't speak Hindi. So that night,
Julie doesn't either.
well, this is so funny. And so that was like so I went home, and my dad helped me with the Hindi, and I came in the next morning, and I had to make that an early appointment because I didn't want to lose my new job that was paying my day job bills. And Julie was like, that was amazing. And she's like, I really want you to get this. And I was a finalist for it. And then my manager, who was my manager at the time, was like, don't get too excited. I was like, of course I'm going to get excited. I'm a finalist, but I know I'm going to keep it under control because any actor knows that like a lot of times you are a finalist and you don't get it. So I kind of played it cool. But then when I got the call, I remember exactly where I was standing in the financial district that you got the part.
Awesome. Great story.
My process was pretty much the typical process. My reps called me, but I had to tape. I was in LA, so I had to tape for something. It was called, I think,
Bluff.
What was it called? Bluff. A ringside or bluff. Right. So I get these like 7-8 pages. It's all Wesley's stuff. He's talking to two lawyers, and I was a big fan of Daredevil from the 80s, so I put it all together. I'm like, oh God, this is Daredevil. I knew it. And I had read that they were going to do a bunch of Netflix Marvel series in New York. So I put it together. And, oh, this is Daredevil. But I didn't know what I was reading for, but it certainly wasn't going to be Wesley. I got some good feedback. A week later, they sent me another scene. And I think that scene was a uniformed cop that chokes out Debran Wall. The scene where Wesley's watching him or watching her, and I got that, did that one, got some good feedback. Another week later, they sent me something else with a guy named Hiroshi, some dialogue with, read that. Over 3 weeks, I read 3 times. And then I heard that they were offering it to me as a local hire. And I took it because I knew at that point, Vincent and Rosario were cast, and being a big fan, I knew that any kind of a contribution I would make, it was going to be the hand. I knew that. I was convinced of that. So I took it, and I got to give a shout out to Steve the Knight, because I became very good friends with him afterwards. He told me all of the details, and he fought very hard for me, very hard, because in that 3 weeks, he said, he was going in a back and forth with the brass, who didn't want to pay for me or didn't think it was right. Can't we go for this fledgling actor here in New York that has one credit and just hire him because it doesn't really matter. Steven and Knight fought for me for weeks. Finally got his way, and then brought me in, as well as Julie. Julie Schubert had always been fighting for me and sent me personal emails encouraging me, and yeah, it was great and it was exciting. And believe me, when I got to the set, I'd frozen up a couple times because I'm facing off against Charlie, and I'm a big fan of Daredevil. I stacks them as a kid, following the whole Hand storyline. When I found out I was Nobu was in episode 5 or 6, I just knew I was brooding Japanese guy in the dark for the pilot, and everything up to 5 when I reappeared, 5 and 6, and so I didn't know what I was doing. I think half of us were in the dark because you're doing great. Stand there, look evil in the dark. You're good. That was my direction from Phil Abramson in the pilot and the reshoots for the pilot. You're doing good. What am I? You act as a bad guy. You're rolling. You're doing great. And that was it. I'm like, okay. So yeah.
Can I just ask a question, Peter? So you had to put yourself on tape several times before you actually. What was that? 5 years ago? So
Yeah,
putting yourself on tape 5 years ago was pretty not easy to do. 6 years ago.
It was strange because I thought I might, I was thinking it was a big project. So I thought I might have to go through the screen test thing, but they cast me off those 3 tapes in that month. And I went, okay. And then I flew myself out there to New York.
Wow.
And
I mean, in this pandemic world, we're all doing self-tapes now as if it's, normal and you do it all the time. But 6 years ago, that was a pretty heavy-duty thing to be asked to tape yourself and send it out. I think so.
Sure. And 20 years before that, you're running to the FedEx, box before the 4 p.m., daily with your VHS package tape and putting it in there, to try to get over to Hollywood in 24 hours.
Awesome. Amy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Marci would be there through all 3 seasons, and were you surprised by where they took your character?
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't know that Marci would be around for all 3 seasons. But I think, I can't remember. I think when I got the job, it was just a one-day, it was a one-off. It was like, I was just shooting that scene, season 1, episode 5. But I think that they had said she's likely going to be in more episodes. Mm-hmm. And then by the end of the season, I was like, whoa. I mean, this chick, she saved the whole thing. I mean, in my mind, right? I mean, obviously. I was like, of season 2, Marci's gonna, and then actually, I feel like Marci didn't do that much in season 2. And, so I had no idea what would happen for season 3, but then I remember the new showrunner called me and said, hey, we really like this character, and we have big plans for season 3 for her and for Foggy. And there's actually a few. Season 3 was so amazing. There was actually several scenes that got cut between Marci and Foggy. That would have sort of developed the story, I think, even more. Not anything like a resolution. I wish I could say there's a scene where they got married and that was cut. I mean, nothing like that. But but that was possibly, other than booking the job, I think when I had that conversation with with Eric before season 3, that was definitely probably my favorite day of the 3 of the. Well, really, we worked on it for 5 years, right? Because it was a lot of time in between seasons. That was really my favorite moment when he was like, "Hey, we love this character, and this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna do this," and and that was just that was amazing. And yeah, I think she would have. I think they would have. I mean, I know Eric had said if it had been picked up for season 4, I think they would have gotten married, and then maybe she would have died. But I think they would have. I think Marci and Foggy. I think there would have been a wedding. I think we
were all hoping that.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a question from, let's see here, Strider.mp4 on Instagram. Who had your favorite wardrobe out of all the characters on the show? So did you have somebody who you just loved their wardrobe? Anybody can answer.
Listen, I love my wardrobe, man.
I think that
everything I wore was designer. It was like I was wearing like 7-8 grand every time. Everything was like Japanese designer, like Issey Miyake or Chanel.
Wow.
My boots,
I like
Chanel
his
belts,
clothes
crazy.
the best too.
It was all designer.
I vote for his clothes.
I loved Marci's clothes. No complaints there. Every outfit I wore, I was pretty thrilled with. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah, such great costume design.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a question for Susan. How do you think Josie would react if Matt and Foggy walked back into Josie's bar one day? Do you think she missed them? Would you let them open a tab?
Oh.
I know she missed them. Of course she'd let them open a tab, but she wouldn't let them know it. I was heartbroken. The third season, I was on hold for 6 months, and then they said that they couldn't get Josie's bar, so they had to take the scene and just put it in their offices at night and drink there. And I thought yes, Josie, yeah, she liked them. I mean, she'd never let them know it. I think my biggest regret is that I never got to see Daredevil in costume, because Josie actually, in the comics, she's this big woman with blonde hair, one of the incarnations, and she has a baseball bat behind the bar. And there's this scene where they've had a huge fight, the bar is smashed to bits, and she says, oh, DD, Daredevil, why'd you have to do that? And I thought, when the day comes that we film that, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I only saw Charlie as Matt. I never saw him as Daredevil. I'm still looking forward to that ever happening. So that's my long answer.
Awesome. For anybody, what was your most memorable experience about Daredevil, just being on the show?
I'll take this one for me. Day one, scene one, season one. As actors, we don't really get to connect outside of being on the show. So I met Eldon walking out of the trailer, or sometimes we just meet in hair and makeup. But before we shot the scene, the very first scene, we actually got a chance to be in Brooklyn by the subway, where there's just local people walking in and out. And we kind of like chopped it up a little bit in a coffee shop before we actually shot the actual first scene. So that gave us a sense of trust. And, when we actually did shoot the scene, that vulnerability just came out with us. So it looks like we had been knowing each other for a long time. I always ask writers, because we are telling a story here, what happens before page one? So me having a relationship with Eldon, that developed. And I always will forever remember that moment that we shared in the coffee shop to talk for a few minutes and then go out and shoot the scene, which made it that much more comfortable.
For me, I would say it was the first day that I got to the table read. I decided to take a taxi instead of taking a subway to go to the table read, and the traffic was bad, and I was a little bit late. But I got there and I was like, oh my God, that's Charlie Cox. Oh my God. And then I remember the moment I met eyes with Jay for the first time too. And I was like, that's going to be my husband. And Eric Olson came up to me and he was like, I'm getting chills talking about it, but Eric Olson came up to me and he was like, congratulations, your audition earned you your part. And I was like, and it's just like this moment of surrealness that, because you're always auditioning and it's such a tough business, right? So when you finally get there, and it's like, oh my gosh, the stories are true. You're like, the fairy tale is true. That was just like the best. And Charlie was so sweet. He was like, lovely read. You did such a lovely job. And he was talking about India. And like, I was like, I'm sure the girls loved you there. So yeah, they were all just so lovely. But the way Charlie was so welcoming, I think that's a true star quality, right? The way that someone welcomes you and they know you're a little nervous and everything. So he was super sweet.
The church scene, the last scene that I shot, season 3. Yeah, Geoffrey, I know, and Royce, I know. Yeah. We that was definitely the best day because there were so many of us together. Because I'd spent all these years basically just working with Eldon, and once with Deborah Ann, and I had become really good friends in the interim, and I've known Geoffrey for years, and Royce. I mean, like we'd all kind of met outside, but that was the first time we'd all been on set together, and then watching
a
Charlie do
fun
his
day.
speech.
A great day.
Yeah.
I will always remember that day.
And to piggyback
Jealous.
off
I'm
Sunita,
jealous.
you know, Charlie Cox, I mean, she's right. I mean, that is a true star quality. And to actually watch him do his thing, I mean, he's just, I mean, all of them. I mean, Deborah Ann, you know, Vincent, I mean, they're all amazing. But it was just really cool to see Charlie do his thing, be in the audience. Yeah.
I would say that besides just, it was a great job to do, but it was also, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it was one of the first times where I was creating a character from scratch. And to Royce's point about, you know, what happens before page one, they actually wrote that in, right? So my first scene with Urich, they actually wrote in what happens before that. They actually, I mean, it's a 5-page scene. The first 3 pages had nothing to do with the scene. It was all about my relationship with him. And I thought that's when I knew I was going to be on a good ride. But again, like Amy, I thought I was in 1 or 2 scenes. And then when all of a sudden Ellison becomes more embedded into the program, what I think, the fact that I actually have friends from a show that I've done is maybe the first time that that's really happened at this level. I'm the only other time that ever happened. I did a show a long time ago for Spike TV and stayed in touch with a lot of those actors, but even like not so much anymore. But I'm very close with Deborah Ann. I see Charlie. I've seen him in London. I see him in New York. Amy, and I mean all of you guys. I'm in touch with everybody, and that speaks partly to, I think, the way the show is put together, but also has to do with Julie's taste in actors. She gets actors who are people, and I think it says a lot about the ensemble of Daredevil specifically. I mean, the other Marvel shows were great. I was involved in The Punisher, but it was like Daredevil light, and you know, all my scenes were with Deborah Ann, like Amy, right? I Deborah Ann or Urich, those like the only people I was really spending much time with. But the fact that I ended up having relationships, I've been relationships with Jay, with Eldon, I have a relationship with most of the actors in the show. And that speaks to the nature of the ensemble work that was done, but also the ensemble environment that the showrunners created, I think.
Very
Nice.
cool.
I have a favorite moment. This one's for the comic book people out there. I went on to season 2, and of course, John Bernthal, the Punisher, was introduced there. As it was shooting, I hadn't met him. We had no scenes together. His last appearance, last moment on screen, where he nods at Charlie as he's trying to snipe me and my ninjas on the rooftop, adjacent rooftop. He nods and walks off into the mist to his own series. I hadn't met John, but I was a fan of his for a few years before that. And as I arrived on set at my call time, it was just turning dark in Brooklyn somewhere, and they shot off maybe 3 blocks. And it's a big scene with NYPD showing up, ninjas shooting arrows at their hoods and stuff, and hostages. And as I'm coming up to the location, I see all the trucks, but I hear the crack of the sniper rifle. So I know what they're shooting. I know that John's gonna wrap right out of the season any moment. They're trying to usher me to hair and makeup, and I said, "Oh, no. You don't have to sign me in yet. I don't even listen. Just call me late. Take me up to that other rooftop. I want to go meet the Punisher, who's the guy shooting you. I'm a massive Punisher fan." So I went up, watched him, you know, shoot a few rounds off. Then they wrapped him. He turned around. I met John in the full Punisher gear, because that was the first time nobody had seen what he was looking. He goes, "Larry, do you like it? This is the new vest I put. This is what I'm gonna be wearing." So he showed it to me, and got some pictures with him. That was a thrill. Then they rushed me down to hair and makeup. That was huge to me, because I was like, this guy, I'm involved in a Punisher world where he's trying to, you know, it's a fantasy world come to life. Ninjas and a Punisher and sniping Daredevil. That was huge to me. I'm also a massive fan of John, and just to see his work and his work since it was incredible. That was a great moment for me, and I think the comic people, those fanboys, will appreciate that, because I'm a nuts on the inside.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, to piggyback off the Punisher, did anybody else want to answer, or did everybody? Okay. To piggyback off your Punisher comment, this is a question for Jeff and Royce. Your characters were able to properly cross over to the Punisher show. were you surprised how your characters were expanded on that show? How would you have gotten Ellison and Mahoney into the same scene together?
We would have begged, I guess, the showrunner to put us in a scene together.
Come on, please.
Does that ever work?
Sometimes. I actually think I was, if Deborah Ann is in something, if Karen is there, hello. So the Punisher really did feel, because they'd already integrated it into the Daredevil story. That seemed like a kind of a no-brainer. They had talked about me going into Defenders, and it turned out to be just some phone calls with Deborah Ann, but I wasn't there. So she's talking to me on the phone, but I clearly wasn't on the other side. I was offering to call her up anyway, just because she's such a method actress, and I was like, I'll just be there if you want. So I wasn't surprised. And when you say expanded, I was basically, it's not like I did something different. I was playing the same guy in the same office, dealing with the same issues. Get the story, do your job. What are you complaining about? You're going about it wrong. Oh, you're amazing, right? So that's but I think there were opportunities, and it might have happened probably had there been a season 4, because they were starting to get Ellison outside of the office. So you saw me at the press conference at the end. I was in the church, and I think what was going to happen in season 4, from what it sounded like, was that we would have figured out whether or not Karen was going to continue to work for me, or whether I was going to tap her. But suddenly I had inroads, and I was becoming more of an investigative journalist myself. And I think that's what would have gotten me into a scene with Royce, where I would have had to go to him to get some information. And I think that's how that would have happened. Royce?
Well, the transition for me was shocking. We had done Daredevil, shot 3 seasons. And The Punisher, I had only shot like 1 episode in the first season of The Punisher, which turned out to be, I don't know, the Brett Mahoney investigative episode. And Jeff Loeb and the guys came to me and they was like, man, you did such great work in episode 10. But they were going to start a 2nd season of The Punisher. And I think they were looking for another character to play my character. And someone in a writer's room or somewhere was like, we already got that guy. Already.
Yeah.
That guy's he already exists.
Yeah.
It's Brett Mahoney. Mm-hmm. And they tied it together. Like, this was one of Brett's first big collars. He captures Fisk, and then he helps, to capture Frank Castle. So the roles grew. I didn't know how many episodes I would have in The Punisher season 2. But as the storyline went on and on and on, we saw how the development of Brett Mahoney's character grew as a seasoned detective versus being in Daredevil as being in over his head, needing Daredevil's help to move forward in his career, which at The Punisher, he didn't need anyone's help. He's been to enough classes. He's done enough interrogation scenes where he would be the guy following Frank Castle. He's been groomed enough in Daredevil to have crossed over to The Punisher. So I wasn't shocked. Friends of mine was telling me this already, that your character could grow. There were comic book fans that were coming up to me. Someone made a statement like, Brett Mahoney is to Daredevil what Jim Gordon is to Batman. And that always stuck in my head for some reason. So it just grew from that point.
Very cool. Well, I think somebody mentioned season 4, but we have a question about that. If there ever was a season 4, what would you like your character, I guess, to do? This is a question from our Facebook follower, Elvira Shank-Coleman.
Well, for me, I would like to just see what happens with me and Karen. I mean, in season 3, we introduced my wife, we introduced my nephew, my house. I think having a little more depth in the world of the character is interesting. But in terms of storyline, I've been injured. I fired her, / she quit. Then she, then I got a knish and hugged her. So I would have. I'm curious what would have happened. Clearly, that's where that storyline was going. That relationship was going to shift because she knows. I know she knows. Am I going to press her? How does that translate? Do I not press her? Do I just use her for information? And how does the newspaper figure in? What I liked about having a newspaper is it's the window, right? It's the audience's window into a world, because everything I see, I only know what I know. I don't know all the ins and outs. And so the audience sort of gets to see it through my window a little bit. And I liked having that as being sort of more on the audience side in a way, that I'm observing the world in the same way that they are and discovering things at the same rate that they are. And I think that would have been an interesting thing to investigate as that window sort of shifted a little bit as now I had inside information. That's me.
Anybody else?
Mine would be, would Brett finally find out that Matt is actually Lanny? Because we spend so much time together, keeping the realism of the show, Matt and I, we never literally when he's in costume, we never stare face to face at each other, because I might get some sort of hint that he could be this vigilante, but I don't think Brett wants to know who this guy is overall. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the audience wants to know. I mean, Karen knows now, Foggy knows now. Will Brett ever find out? So in the writer's room, I would be curious to find out how he will put that together. And will he continue to help him, because Brett is so straight-edged and, non-bending and by the book, so protocol. Will he continue to be that way after he finds out that it is Matt?
Since this is fantasy, this is just my fantasy of, I think, what I would have liked to see happen in season 4. I would like to see Marci run for office. I think she, spent a lot of time sort of behind the scenes and sort of pushing Foggy. And I mean, let's be honest, she's sort of the brains of that operation, the Marci Foggy operation. So I would have liked to see her run for office. I would have liked to have, seen, it definitely looked like they were going back into business together, right? The Matt and Karen and Foggy, which is great. Yeah. But I think that makes Marci's got to be I think Marci would kind of go on that path with Foggy by her side, obviously. But and more scenes, more women scenes. I would, why couldn't Marci and Sunita's character and Karen and why couldn't there be a little more? I mean, I think comic books in general could probably use more women, strong women storylines. But Daredevil always did a pretty good job of that, for sure. Anyway. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it a lot. We open on Seema Nadeem. She is dressed head to toe in Chanel. She prepared herself for once. Treat yourself. Her hair is blown out. Her makeup is done to the nines. Wearing some nice Bonics. As she's walking down, that's the first opening shot. No, the thing is, Seema was such a good, dedicated wife. But I think for her character, for sure, she would definitely take vengeance for her true love, Ray Nadeem. She would have an unnatural fear of swimming in pools. And, she would use her smarts to get ahead, and she would empower other women. I love the idea of running for council. I love the idea of helping other women in her community, but she definitely knows there's a power to women coming together and being strong together.
I'll answer this question. I think if my character or any of the hand character were to reemerge in any iteration in any future follow-up series, I think there's a big opportunity to mine the motivation, the origin story of the hand, backstory. As opposed to just destroying cities and then slinking back into shadows. Why? It's simple. Just why? What's the reasoning? And maybe investigate the alliance between Madame Gao and Nobu, because clearly they were different ethnic heritage, but they were aligned somehow through the evil organization of the Hand. I would love them to investigate that, to show, you know, exactly the human side of you know, their actions and their plans. That would be amazing. I'd love to see that, because after all, my character, who was invented in the comics in around 2000, 2001, I wasn't familiar with him. I was familiar with another character, Kirigi, Super Ninja, who actually I thought I was in the first weeks. But yeah, I would love to see Nobu. He is 500 years old. I want to see him 500 years before, when he was a good guy. Just 10 minutes, 10-minute flashback in the snow, something, to show why he's so mean.
Very cool.
And in terms of Josie and her bar, I don't think it or she changes very much, but there's always room to go off the grid and have some down and dirty old memory, or nobody's going to find you there kind of experiences. So I would always want there to be a visit to Josie's bar several times.
Totally. Well, for the women, you guys kind of touched on this a little bit, but the portrayal in women in comics has never really been great. So with it evolving, even since Daredevil premiered in 2015, what are your thoughts on how the women of the show were portrayed? And what would you like to see more of, and specifically in your own characters?
I can go real quick.
Yeah,
so-
Sunita, you take this one, girl. Yeah. All right.
I mean, I love the idea of all the ladies, a scene with all of the ladies. I mean, of course, the first thing I think of is an improviser's brunch. But, you know, I really like the idea of Seema using her smarts and empowering herself. I mean, the lucky part about working with Jay and how amazing that was in the way I modeled the character of Seema Nadeem was, you know, in my backstory, in my head, Jay's character was my first love. It was my first true love. If you've ever had first love, you know, you think that in your head, that's the person you're going to be with forever. And I really loved how Seema was so dedicated to her family. And I know I actually kind of love the flack that she caught for being so hard on Jay's character. But, you know, she was really trying to protect her son and her family, and she was being lied to as the wife, and just that going through that heartbreak. I would have to come back from set sometimes and just really just cry it out. That was really, really hard. But yeah, I do joke with the insurance money. She would take care of herself for once and push herself forward and buy herself a nice car. And then also on a vulnerability factor, I would love to see her start dating again, maybe open herself up to dating again, particularly in the Indian community. That's just something that's not talked about, or really I feel like celebrated. Divorce, a person moving on after divorce, or someone passing away. It's like usually seen as like it's okay for the man to do it, but not as much for the woman. So I feel in that character arc for Seema, that would be a really interesting thing for her to watch, for us to watch about her. And then I also feel like her pursuing some kind of degree and, you know, really making herself toughen up. I really would love to see that too.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure if I can't really speak about women in comics on the whole, because it's not something I'm super well versed at and well versed in. But Daredevil's been around a long time. It's obviously based on a comic book that's, you know, been around, and I think that overall the show did a pretty good job as adding a lot of female characters. Because like I wasn't in the comic, Sunita, I mean, you weren't in the comic, right? I mean, I know Susan was, but I know that there were. You know, they definitely took opportunities to do that. But I definitely noticed even just a difference between season 1 and season 3. I think the world is changing as far as, you know, wanting more stories about women, and thank God finally more, you know, more diverse stories. I mean, I think it's interesting to note, you know, I can't remember what year we were cast, right? Like 2014.
Summer.
I mean, look, Deborah Ann Wall and I are both like white girls. I was cast a blonde white girl when they already had a blonde white girl. Like that wouldn't happen in 2020. And that's a good thing. So, you know, I wouldn't be playing Marci if this was cast now. and I think that's, I mean that in a totally positive, great sense. Like that's a good thing. So it's, but I thought that overall, I thought Daredevil did a pretty great job, giving some really interesting, strong female characters. I mean, Sunita's role. Sunita, am I right that like your role just kept getting more and like bigger and bigger and bigger? Like it wasn't planned. Like it just kept expanded, expanded, right? Like that's amazing.
The best thing in the world.
Yeah. Like,
Oh my
amazing.
God. That was so amazing. It was only supposed to be 2 or 3 episodes. And then, I can't believe I don't remember their name, but I was on set. It was one of the episodes, it was the 3rd episode, and someone came up to me. He was like, "Excuse me, I'm from Marvel. We love your takes. You guys are stunning together." And that's like, when you fall in love and the first time you hear like the person talking, it sounds like you're underwater. I was like, huh? He was like, if you don't mind, we're writing you into more episodes. And I'm like, I don't mind.
Isn't that amazing?
Together. And Jay was
amazing.
Just phenomenal. So yeah. No, it's amazing how the writers expanded that and what that was.
And deservedly so, I mean, it's great.
And for my part, I mean, I can't talk about women in all of the Marvel world and the other worlds, but just to have an opportunity as a woman who's 40 plus, because we're often the forgotten people as well. So, it's a privilege to just see so much diversity, because I do consider myself not being 25. I am part of a diverse group who is often underused and utilized. So it means a lot to see any opportunity for women plus 40.
Kind of going with that, I have a question for you, Peter. Do you think that the character of Nobu would be written different now as opposed to back in 2015, 2016?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think about this all the time. I mean, I became friends with maybe 5 of the writers to a point where I can sit and eat with them. I'll be frank about one thing, and 2 showrunners. I'm not going to name any names, but the writers are incredibly generous, and we're fighting hard. We're fighting hard to write for me. They, in fact, had a very expansive storyline about me, the character. It was set up in the first season to come here under the guise of needing some kind of liver transplant, and then I had to buy off a bunch of politicians who had a big storyline, but it was quashed by the studio, the people running. But the writers were trying very, very, very hard to configure a very more complex storyline for me, but they couldn't, and it told me over 2 seasons. And the second season was harder to perform, because the writers are telling me, we're not allowed to write what we want to write for you. This is what we could have, this is what we could have, this is what we could have. But I know now that their efforts would have paid off for sure. And everything's it's a growing learning curve. So, I really appreciate those words and their efforts at the time, because they were distressed more than me. Peter, we're trying to, and I'm like, hey, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Things are improving, and I'm patient. So I to answer your question, yeah, I think they would be written, and there would be a lot more focus put on the backstory of the Hand, and perhaps even the Defenders. I might have went on to the Defenders too, because to be honest, when Sigourney was cast, I had a conniption in my room because I was waiting for the phone call, because at one point when I was cast, I was told I was the lead villain in the Defenders. It was part of the reason why I accepted the role. But then when it came along, and then Sigourney and a whole new cast was introduced as the Hand, that was a little bit difficult. But I damn enjoyed the whole series, season 3 and the Defenders. I liked it all, but I wasn't included. That one stung a bit. But the writers were always trying, and they remain great friends. And the showrunners, they're all trying. It's just an era thing. We're in a different time now, and people are approaching things differently, and optimistic. That's what I'm going. Disney Plus, season 4, Defenders 2.
Oh, yeah, definitely. you kind of spoke about like a 10-minute scene of your behind, like your backstory. Did you get, any backstory, any details about that, or did they just kind of hand you the character?
No, nothing. So, but I'm used to it. I'm really good at literally walking out of the dimly lit section of the location, walking out and being intensely intimidating and homicidal. I'm very good at that, and a lot of it was that. But in my head, I had these backstories, like I was my family was murdered, butchered in the snow 500 years ago, and I had to create something. But yeah, what I would love, just a small thing could have flipped it and could have gave a lot more dynamic and understanding to my motivation. Just 10 minutes could have. But just the future, that's what I'm saying. There's so much more to reinvestigate this stuff. And all these, everybody's storylines here, because everything that you guys had said, I'm like, yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see that character expand. I would love to see those women, run for office well, all the female characters. I don't know if they could go that way. They actually have the time to invest in that. But yeah, I would love to see these.
It's a nice fantasy.
Yeah. Right.
Continuing with backstories, Royce, your character wears a wedding ring. And so, but we never see a wife. Like, do you have a backstory on that? Did you make up your own?
The first day, because it was season 1, they were just propping me all up. And someone threw a wedding band on my finger. And we continue to, with the continuity of it, we continue to wear that wedding band forever. So we would joke, outside of takes that, Brett Mahoney could be in denial. Maybe his wife passed away and he still wears the wedding band. We did see my mother. Because we had to hide Agent Nadeem's wife and his family inside there. So Brett went above and beyond to do that. But hopefully, if there's a season 4, we'll get a chance to see Brett's wife, after all this time, right? I think
you'll get a lot of volunteers, because as soon as you said Brett's wife, I was like, oh, I volunteered. That was
yeah, people are coming forward. They're like, I want to play your wife. Could you put in that word?
You'll get a lot of...
Yeah.
You get a lot of people wanting to do that.
We're taking applications, man.
Awesome. Sunita, kind of going with the whole diversity conversation, how important was it to you to see South Asians represented on the show?
Oh, incredibly important. Are you kidding? And Eric was so great. We were talking about it on set and everything, because it was loosely based on someone he knew, the character of Ray Nadeem. But just to see someone without the accents and the stereotypes, and what I really liked, and they've talked about this before, is Indian families. There are 13 languages in India and 108 dialects, I believe. So everyone speaks some kind of language at home, right? Like my parents are from Karnataka and they speak Kannada, and they can bust out into it and I'll totally understand it, even here at home. So we talk it, we speak it at home. But the Indian accent thing is kind of, it's kind of like played out. And what I really like about shows that are coming out now, and the way that this also influenced probably so many shows, is that you don't have to show the person with the accent. They talk like this. I mean, I grew up outside of Tampa. This is the way I talk. I know how to line dance, and I love country music. So it's it was just really nice to see an Indian American couple that happened to fall in love with each other. And I imagine Seema, had like in Indian households, there's like a little prayer room and everything. I imagined all of those facets of the Nadeem household where you did prayers, and they often put pictures of family members who have passed over. But I really loved the fact that we were just shown as like actual people without the Apu, type of accents. Not to say that I haven't met people with accents who have come from India, but in my generation, not really.
I loved everything that you guys did. Every time I went over to your home and you were there, I loved it. I loved seeing you talk and just being a normal American with no accent, because that's what I know out there. Just loved it. And I said, and it was weird thinking, wow, this is exciting. And I felt sad thinking that while I watched it. But man, I loved watching I loved watching the interaction with the husband. God,
Thank you
so
so much.
good.
You know, I think too, right, for Asian American community, Indian American community, there was like such a want to be, I mean, just for lack of a better term, when I was growing up and where I was growing up, no one looked like me. You were either Black or you were white. So there was this want for me not to be Indian. And in fact, I would fight against this
Did you have to
background.
pretend you were Cuban in Florida? I mean, I don't know what it's like, but
People assume you speak Spanish, and I don't. I was like, I took French in high school. Yeah, no, there was a fight against being Indian. So actually, it was really nice in a cathartic way, therapeutic, to be like, it's okay. Like, I'm Indian, and this is who I am, and this is how I talk, and this is my family, and I happen to fall in love with a wonderful Indian man who ended.
I mean, I think you have to give a lot of credit to the entire Marvel team, because if you really look at the 4 shows they did, even though there are a lot of problems, which we don't need to discuss now, but even in spite of all those problems, they pushed more envelopes in terms of who they cast, how they cast, than a lot of other shows might have at the same level. They may not have gone as far as maybe they should have. And I remember doing a Comic-Con and sitting with Eldon, and somebody asked a couple of questions about diversity. And I think, as opposed to looking at the problems, I think that you got to give them a lot of credit, and the writers, and even each season of each show. You know, you had a hero with a physical disability. You had a female hero with a drinking problem. You had an African American hero. I think maybe some other decisions could have been made about another show. But I still think that they made more of an effort than most shows that are this commercially successful.
You're right.
And really broke a lot of barriers on a lot of levels, right? They broke barriers in terms of how you stream stuff. They broke barriers in terms of how you create a universe of shows that all talk to each other. But also they started to open up doors for us to see the real fabric of the multiculturalism that is the United States. You know, they didn't go into the transgender universe. The gender identity wasn't really addressed that much. Maybe there were opportunities there. Maybe, you know, there were missed opportunities for sure, but more seasons may have meant more opportunities. But I give them a lot of credit, considering the number of shows I've done in the past. This broke far more barriers than most I've ever done.
Yeah, they pulled off a lot, and they achieved a lot. You're right, they did. Yep. You can't, you know, get everything. But man,
no, you can't get everything.
You were very right. I didn't think of it that way. They did so much. And yeah, the format and the whole deal, and the fact that they did that many seasons and then tied them all together in a very hard place to shoot, New York. You're right. They did pull off a lot.
Hopefully in the future with these comic book shows, even if in the comics the characters are white because they were created 50, 60 years ago, hopefully, like they just did with Batwoman, they're going to say, oh, well, forget that. Let's hire a person of color anyway. You know, I mean, I think that's where we're moving, and that's great
for sure.
Yeah,
and I think this opened the door for that, right? So like Urich was not Black in the comic books, so that felt to me like a real test for them. They were like, can we put our toe in this water?
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is okay. This is okay. This is working. Look, he's a fucking great actor. Who cares what color he is, right?
Yeah.
And that now seems like a no-brainer. 2013, when that's written, that ain't no-brainer. They know they're going to be facing shit from the comic book fans.
People are
saying, wait a minute, that's not what he looks like.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that the Marvel universe, as we understood it in the Netflix Marvel universe, in our world, that they at least cracked the door open for people to make more bold decisions that are better for us as actors, better for the fans, and that really show who we are as a country, rather than you know, as you say, Amy, the image that we had of ourselves in the 1950s.
Yeah,
for sure.
Thanks, guys. I have a question from a fan from Twitter, Fiona Quiggs. What do you miss most about your characters?
Going to set.
Yeah. Right now we just miss being on set on anything. Yeah. Right now we just miss the moment you wake up to the moment you go home. We miss it all.
Yeah. We take that for granted now. Just showing up, putting on our costumes, you know, our coats, And getting a call sheet right now, that's what we miss most.
Yeah.
You know, every day we walk down.
Yeah, every question is contextual, right?
Yeah.
So that you asked me that question right after it ended. It's like, I just want to come back as the character, right? I just like the character. Now it's like, I just want the industry to come back.
Yeah.
So, and to be really honest, you know, without being too fatalistic, even that said, I don't have it bad. I'm not struggling.
Yeah.
Right. There are people in the world right now who are struggling in a way that I will never understand, for any number of reasons. And so it's very difficult to complain about anything. I'm thrilled to have been in the show. I'm thrilled to have the relationships I have as a result. I'm thrilled that I can feed my family and everybody's healthy. And, you know, so it's like, what do I miss about the character? I just miss him. Dismiss him, but I got no complaints.
Awesome. We miss all the characters. We are at our last question.
Ready?
So exciting. Do we have to do something special?
Their game?
Our last question is, do you have a favorite memory from behind the scenes, just from the entire time that you were on the show?
I'll start. It was my first or second time on the show. I only got to work with Eldon and Deborah Ann and Charlie, which was phenomenal, but I didn't know anybody else. And we were breaking for an odd lunch, and I went into a very crowded room, and there was nowhere to sit. And there was a seat next to Charlie, which I certainly was not going to take. And he said, "Come on over." And I had the most wonderful lunch with him. It's the most we spoke, because when we were on set together, they were going over their lines. I was standing by, and it was action, and then everybody was gone. And I have to say that lunch was just, he was so delightful. And so we were all talking at the table, but the point that I want to make is that it was very embracing. And I really, it calmed me down, and I just fell in love with him, because I've always liked his work. So that for me was a really very special time.
I have a quick one. There was one time when my character went over to Vincent to the Kingpin's lair in Brooklyn, in this warehouse. And we were shooting. I shot maybe there a few weeks, and it was pretty heavy one of the weeks. And it was late at night, and I had a serious question about how I was going to walk in. And I leaned over to Vincent going, "Do you think I would walk in nervous that I'm going to get a lampshade across the back of the head by one of your goons, one of your flunkies? Have I been here before?" It was such a great question. Okay, we're rolling. He was like, "No, cut. And the video village was snaking through the factory somewhere. So we walked past all the crew, and we went right to the writers and the director. I don't remember who was directing at the time. And so we got an actor here, and he's got a question. Can everybody shut up? He's got a question. It's a good
Thank
one.
God for
Pete,
Vincent.
go, shoot. Yeah, and I went, and he didn't understand. Like, it's Vincent D'Onofrio. Like, I single-handedly took the job because of this guy, you know? And we all know his notorious performance in the Full Metal Jacket. So to have him call me an actor in front of 200 people, I had to hold it together, because at that point I was legitified by a brilliant, a genius performer who I've adored for 30 years. So that was huge to me. When he did that, I want to hug him, but I had to stay in character, right? But Vincent was so sweet. I couldn't believe he did that. He got upset. Everybody, shut up. Can you stop? There's an actor. You got to quit. And he come here, come on, Pete. And he made me follow him. And he did that, and I went, oh my God, Vincent D'Onofrio, right? That was huge. Thank you, Vincent. If you see this, thanks for that one. Yeah. Such a great guy.
Piggybacking off of that, just two quick things. My two favorite memories were Deborah Ann Wall taught me how to play Dungeons and Dragons. We had a little team with the hair and makeup gals. We had a Dungeons and Dragons crew, and Deborah Ann Wall is like super patient and super smart. And if you guys have been watching her Dungeons and Dragons show, like she's brilliant. So that was amazing, and I will never forget that. And then just piggybacking off of Peter's story, the Halloween after we shot season 1, I was trick-or-treating with my then 2.5-year-old, and she was dressed as Goofy, and I was dressed in like a big furry Donald Duck costume. And we were in my neighborhood, and I knocked on a door, and Vincent D'Onofrio opened, and I freaked out, and I was like, oh my god, wait, I made it, I play Marci. And God bless him, he has no idea who the F I am, right? I mean, I and he was like, and then he was like, so do you want to come in? He was like, my sister had a Halloween party. Like, do you? And then thank God, I was like, no, we're good. I'll take my 2-year-old. But anyway, but then after that, we became friendly because we're neighbors, and so I ran into him voting. We voted together. Like, it just was like Vincent in the neighborhood.
That's awesome.
Yeah, anyway, that's it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Kingpin opens the door at Halloween. God.
Yeah, and he's like, come in. Sure.
That's great. That's great.
Well, I've had a lot of great moments hanging out with Eldon, Deborah, and Charlie. But there was one particular day where we were joking largely. And I just got promoted. I wasn't wearing the blues anymore. I was wearing a suit. And I think Eldon's line was, hey, it's Brett. You're not wearing you have a tie, and it's not a clip-on. So we all laughed at that. And as I read the script, there was a tongue twister in the script. And Eldon had to say the tongue twister. And no matter how many takes we had, I hope you don't mind the story, because he just loves me. But he could not get that line out to save his life.
Oh my goodness.
It was like season 2. And we were all like, each one of us took turns laughing each time he tried to say that line. I laughed. If you ever watched the episode, you'll see none of us are looking at Eldon during that time when he's walking in.
I'm going to look for that.
I mean, there's one time Charlie's looking up, Deborah's looking down, I'm looking the other way because Eldon is struggling to get that line out. So that was one of our blooper favorite moments because we were still just having fun after being together for so long, so many hours. People don't understand that this is a blue collar type job. We work long hours, we get hurt, we get injured, we're tired, and to have some laughs in between takes and to take that on camera and take that same energy and put it there is it's just priceless, So
I'm taking a picture.
Those will be some of the times that I will miss and would want to come back because we've developed that family thing. Like if something's wrong with me or something, if I didn't get enough sleep, like one night I went and knocked on Charlie's trailer. I was like, I didn't sleep well last night. And we were, we talk about it. You can go to him and say, hey, how are we going to get through this? That's that vulnerability that I was talking about. Brett worked double, he didn't get enough sleep that night. And he shared a story with me about him doing a scene with Jeremy Irons once, and he didn't get enough sleep. So to bring your personal life into that as an actor, as a cast and crew, do that, that's priceless, man. You don't get that on every show. So kudos to having that type of relationship with each and every character. I got sisters and, we all love each other, but there's different energies, with each person. You know what to expect. Eldon and I, up on site, we're laughing, we're joking. Charlie and I, up on site, it's a joke. Deborah, she's teaching me something I didn't know. She's reading some book or something. And so I do miss that. I miss that. I really do.
So can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Have you enabled screen sharing?
I'm not sure.
If you enable it, I can share my favorite backstage.
Yep.
My behind the scenes. All right. See if I
You're
can figure
good.
this out. You ready?
Yep.
Oh, this is the last day of shooting. All right. So I'm going to try to take us through this quickly. So this was my favorite. Look,
Oh my
there
gosh.
you are.
Oh.
This is
There I
season.
am in my trailer.
Is this season 3?
Season 3, the last day.
That's
But
us. Yes.
What?
Oh, Eldon.
I'm a great selfie taker.
I see.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta get on my stuff.
So
Oh, these are awesome.
Geoffrey, these are awesome.
I'll try to go through quickly. But I literally tried to get pictures with everybody I'd been spending time with all these years, really. Look at us, scene together. We got our scene together. I told you if we beg.
You can't.
Look, me and a nun. So a Jew and a nun walk into a church. Anyway, so you remember this series? Here we go. This was a really fun series.
Where was I during this? I guess I was at Crafty. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a big. This is a Corona situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, there he is. There's our director.
Yeah.
That was fabulous.
In loving memory.
That's great.
Get through that a little bit. Me and Jeff.
Yeah.
Look how tall he is.
Oh, yes.
So tall.
Oh, Eric's giant.
He's a giant. Yeah.
So this was one of my favorite days. I mean,
yeah.
That was it. So that's okay.
Very cool.
So that was my favorite BTS. There were many. I had great times, but that was, somebody had said, when we all got to be together, that was the first day that all of us were. I mean, that was packed. That was a fun day. I think that was the last day.
Was there 200 extras in there? That's never going to happen again.
No, those were all principals.
Well, I knew on the pictures, but what about the people in the back in the pews? I saw.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I'm just saying they got all the principals. They may have paid us as extras that day, but that's not the issue. Anyway, so that was my favorite BTS.
What church was that? Where'd you guys shoot that?
That was a church downtown. It was meant to be in Hell's Kitchen, but they actually shot it down.
That's 19th and 5th. I think it's the old Limelight Club or something. No.
No. It was over. It was over on Park Avenue South.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And my wife still didn't show up. She didn't show up. She had to work.
Show up.
My wife didn't visit me at the hospital. Karen shows up. My wife is like, my own wife's not going to be in the hospital.
Oh my God.
Didn't think of that.
Lauren, I have to go. I'm sorry. I have to go, but you guys continue. I have to.
No, I got to go too.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. It was so wonderful.
Had a great time.
And thank you. Thank you for being here. Have a lovely day. I think we're gonna end it now. So
thanks, fans.
Bye,
Save Daredevil.
Bye, guys. So good to see you guys.